Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nick Jordan, the AI protagonist, and in this video, we are going to take a 2D image, turn it into a 3D model, and then animate that 3D model, all using free tools. So first and foremost, you want to be able to create a 2D image that you want to turn into a 3D model. I'm here in Leonardo AI. And as you can see, I've created a bunch of different T-posing characters. My recommendation is to create something that's either in a T-pose or an A-pose, because that's going to make it a lot easier to rig the 3D model. In order to do that here in Leonardo, you would just need to use their image to pose feature. If you go out to image guidance and you can just do pose to image. And I have a T-posing character as my actual pose. And so everything that I generate using this pose to image will be in that pose. You can, of course, use control nets if you're using any kind of stable diffusion AI art generator in order to get the same effect. So I chose this one. This is Iron Man giving the thumbs up. As you can see, it is a full body of the character. It does have a background. It's better if you do it without a background, but I think the background is different enough from the character to where common sense machines can actually pull out the background and create the character. But once you have your 2D character selected, once you have it upscaled and everything is ready, then you jump into common sense machines. So common sense machines is a software that will generate a 2D image or generate a 3D model from a 2D image. They do have an actual image generator here in the software, so you can generate your image here rather than generating it in a separate software. This is some of the stuff that I've generated. As you can see, this is the prompt that I use in order to get someone in a T pose or an A pose. I did put double parentheses around T-pose and a parentheses around no background in order to get the desired result. I will put this prompt in the description if you want to try it out yourself. But once you've created an image, you can just click on 3D and it will go right into generating the 3D object from that image. But what I did is I uploaded my Iron Man image. And you can see I've actually uploaded a ton of different images and created different 3D models with this software. But for the Iron Man image, this is the one that I uploaded, and this was the result of it, a complete 3D model of Iron Man. Now, if you are uploading something to this for the first time, if you're a free member, when you click on Generate 3D Model, it will automatically have this selected. I believe this is the only model that's available for free members. If you're upgraded, you get access to the other models. But you have this automatically generate model. That means if you upload the image, it will automatically generate the model, and you can just kind of walk away from your computer because it does take a while. It takes a couple hours, maybe a little bit more, depending on the 3D model. But if you don't have that clicked, then you'll actually have to manually take it through the different steps. So the first step is after you upload image, you'll get the initial views. That's these over here. As you can see, the actual views does not show what the final result is, so don't really worry about the views. But it does take around 30 or 40 minutes to go from initial views to the preview model. And that's when you'll actually get kind of like the rough model without any detailed textures or anything like that, and it will just basically be the shape of the model. And then it goes from there to the refined model, which is the finished result. That does take a few hours to do, so if you don't mind just letting the software doing its thing, you can leave it on automatic. Otherwise, if you want to save on credits in case you get a bad preview, then you can do it manually. But you can see the difference between the different models that I've selected. This one is the 1.2 turbo. You can see in some places it's bad, like the face, for example. In other places, it is better than the 1.1, which is what I used for this one. but I would say play around with the different models to see which one works best for you. Once you're done with your 3D model, you then click on Share, and you would want to download. I would recommend downloading into the OBJ format, so I'm going to do that right now. And then once you're done with that, we jump over into Mixamo. So Adobe Mixamo is a free character rigger, 3D model rigger, and it actually adds animations to the different characters. And right now I am in the characters tab, but you can see all the characters that it has available on there. If we go over to animations, whatever character is loaded up here, it will add the animation to that character. So what we want to do is we want to upload the character we just downloaded from Common Sense Machines. So if you go to upload character, we downloaded it in the FBJ or OBJ, but I'm just going to actually look for the zip file that I just downloaded, which is probably this one. It will automatically check the zip file, find the files in there for the 3D model, and then we can begin the rigging process. Alright, so the model is loaded up. Once you're in this screen, it basically tells you to have the character facing forward in a T-pose. And this allows you to just kind of rotate the character to make sure you actually get it forward facing and in the pose necessary. Once you're done, you click on next, and this is the actual rigging process. So what you want to do is place these markers to where it looks similar to how you have it here in the demonstration. And so the chin would of course be right here. This will be Iron Man's chin. You have his wrist. Got the elbows. The knees. And finally the groin. Alright, and then once that is done, you can click off the symmetry button if you want to just move each point separately rather than have it symmetrical. And you can select different kinds of skeletons. We have the standard one selected, but if you got a 3-finger character, 2 fingers, or no fingers, you would use these different ones. And then you just click on next, and it will begin the auto rigging process. And now it is done. So this is our character moving around and being all animated like. I'm gonna click on next, and it's going to replace what's already there. And here is our Iron Man, and here he is dancing about. So you can use the mouse buttons and the mouse wheel. If you hold the mouse wheel and move it around, you'll do like this. And if you hold the left mouse button, you can move around like that. So you can see it's pretty easy. You just click on basically any animation and your model will start doing that animation that you clicked on. If something doesn't look quite right, you can always just re-rig the character. You can also just upload it again and start the whole rigging process over again. You can change the different things of the animation down here, and you can also just simply download the character with the animation. So I am going to go back to the dancing animation. Click on download, and then you can download any kind of file format depending on what 3D animation software or game engine that you're putting him into. You can choose to have the skin or without the skin, different keyframe modes and stuff like that, frames per second. So I'm just going to leave everything by default and click on download. Alright, and just like that, I just opened up the FBX into a regular 3D viewer. I think this is a Windows 3D viewer or something like that. As you can see, it looks just fine and dandy. You can see it from all parts. You can see the animation playing. So you can load this into anything like Blender or Unreal Engine to create your 3D scenes, add the assets to your video games and things like that. And that is just a very easy and free way to create 3D objects and animate them. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.